A cordial greeting. Today is Wednesday, July 3, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. At the time of recording this video, it is 4:15 in the morning, local time in Jamaica, where weather conditions will deteriorate rapidly during the morning, as Hurricane Beryl's center of circulation passes just south or over the island. So in this video, we will be providing many details on the expected effects during the morning and afternoon in Jamaica. We will also discuss the effects expected in the Cayman Islands during the night and early Thursday morning. And eventually, Hurricane Beryl should be entering the Yucatán Peninsula on Friday morning. In the last part of the video, we will talk about the uncertainty in the long-term forecast, with one trajectory possibly taking this hurricane towards Texas and another towards Tamaulipas. At 4 a.m., the National Hurricane Center confirmed that Hurricane Beryl continues as a Category 4 hurricane, with maximum sustained winds of 145 miles per hour, or 230 kilometers per hour. This means that Hurricane Beryl has continued to weaken, but at a slower rate than anticipated, and it is now projected to reach Jamaica as a powerful Category 4 hurricane. The intensity of Hurricane Beryl will be crucial over the next 72 hours, as it will determine the effects across Quintana Roo, Campeche, and Yucatán. A stronger hurricane could take a more northerly path, increasing long-term risk for Texas, while a weaker hurricane could move more westward and eventually reach Tamaulipas. Regardless of what happens in the Western Caribbean, it is certain that the center of circulation will pass near or over Jamaica. Whether it passes just south or over the region, Category 3 or Category 4 winds will be experienced during the morning and afternoon today, Wednesday. Some outer bands are already moving over the eastern parts of Jamaica, but the strongest part of the hurricane and the eye wall should start approaching the region around noon. Doppler radar images show some rain bands approaching from the east over Jamaica. So, if you are watching this video and are in Jamaica, you should already be in a safe place for at least the next 24 to 36 hours. During the night, we saw that Hurricane Beryl's center of circulation moved slightly more westward, and for this reason, the National Hurricane Center has adjusted the trajectory just south of Jamaica. However, caution is needed because a trajectory just south of the island would place the strongest part of the cyclone over Jamaica. I will show this later when we look at wind and rain projections. A hurricane warning remains in effect for Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. Beryl is expected to pass south of the Cayman Islands during the early hours of Thursday, but again, the most active part of the rains and winds is located north of the circulation. It is now projected to reach Quintana Roo during Friday morning as a Category 2 hurricane, with maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour, or 160 kilometers per hour. The trajectory will cross over the southern parts of Yucatán and northern Campeche. A hurricane watch has been issued for the entire state of Quintana Roo and parts of eastern Yucatán, and a tropical storm watch for northern Belize, given the possibility of tropical storm winds approaching the region. Tropical storm winds, represented by the yellow color, are already approaching the east of Jamaica, and should be arriving around 7 or 8 a.m. local time. Why is a trajectory just south of the island of Jamaica the worst-case scenario? This can be seen in the projection of wind gusts from the European model, where a trajectory just south of the island would place the strongest winds over all of Jamaica. This is typical of hurricanes, where the northeast part of the circulation is the strongest. If the center passes just south, it leaves the strongest part over Jamaica. Therefore, it is important for people in Jamaica to prepare for the impact of a dangerous Category 3 or Category 4 hurricane, which will cause significant damage in the region. In addition to the wind, rainfall totals are expected to increase. Now, projections are between 175 to 250 millimeters of rain in essentially all of Jamaica, especially in the eastern and central parts. This also relates to a trajectory just south of the island, where southeast wind flow will impact Jamaica, causing intense rains, especially near Kingston, where significant flooding and landslides can occur. If you are in a flood-prone area, it is important to relocate to a safe place before the hurricane arrives. By Wednesday night and early Thursday morning, hurricane force winds will begin to move over parts of the Cayman Islands, with projected wind gusts of over 100 kilometers per hour affecting the region. Rainfall projections indicate between 150 to 200 millimeters in the Cayman Islands, so prepare for a heavy rainfall event. Now, let's talk about the medium-term forecast, where Hurricane Beryl is expected to arrive on the coast of Quintana Roo on Friday morning. There is still some uncertainty about whether it will move over northern or southern Quintana Roo, so it is important for all residents of Quintana Roo, Yucatán, and Campeche to prepare for a Category 2 or Category 1 hurricane. As mentioned earlier, the final trajectory will depend on the hurricane's intensity. A stronger hurricane will likely take a more northerly path over northern Quintana Roo and Yucatán, while a weaker hurricane will move more westward over southern Quintana Roo, southern Yucatán, and northern Campeche. This can be seen in the latest runs of global models. For example, the American GFS model in its latest run keeps Hurricane Beryl stronger, with a trajectory over northern Quintana Roo and Yucatán as a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane. Under this scenario, the strongest winds would be recorded over Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Mérida. However, the European model projection shows a more southerly trajectory crossing over Tulum and southern Yucatán and northern Campeche. In this case, tropical storm and hurricane force winds would also affect cities like Campeche. Therefore, it is important for all residents of the Yucatán Peninsula to prepare for this event. In addition to the wind, rainfall totals are expected to be between 90 to 150 millimeters, although maximum rainfall will depend on the exact path of the center of circulation. Now, I would like to talk about the longer-term forecast, especially for residents of Texas and Tamaulipas, to understand what will happen with Hurricane Beryl. But before that, I want to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to the bottom of the video and click the red button that says subscribe, then click the bell to receive notifications when I record new videos. Let's look at the medium and long-term projections when the hurricane is over the Gulf of Mexico. There is great uncertainty because some models with a weaker system maintain a more westerly trajectory, eventually reaching parts of Tamaulipas in about 5 days. However, other models show a stronger hurricane moving more north-northwest, eventually reaching areas of eastern and southern Texas, which is also a possibility. Therefore, Texas and Tamaulipas residents need to wait a bit to get a better consensus, and it is important to stay tuned to the National Hurricane Center's updates later this week and early next week to see some possible scenarios. For example, the American GFS model projects a stronger hurricane over the Gulf of Mexico, leading to a trajectory over southern Texas, possibly as a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane. Under this projection, the center of circulation is expected to arrive in Texas between Sunday and Monday. Additionally, the European model projection with a more southerly trajectory over the Yucatán Peninsula suggests that the center of circulation will move over Tamaulipas during the night on Sunday and early Monday morning, possibly as a Category 1 hurricane. Clearly, we see little consensus in the medium and long term between the two best models, so we must wait to see what happens over the next 72 hours. The stronger the hurricane, the higher the risk for Texas. The weaker it is, the higher the risk for Tamaulipas. These scenarios are clearly seen in the ensemble members of the GFS model. The weaker hurricane members eventually take it to northern Tamaulipas, while others with a stronger hurricane have a trajectory over southern and southeastern Texas. The same applies to the European model members, with a stronger system more north over northern Tamaulipas or southern Texas, while the weaker members move westward to Tamaulipas. Well, that's all for the update on the dangerous Hurricane Beryl. Remember, it remains a Category 4 hurricane and will soon be moving directly over Jamaica. Before I go, I want to invite you to support my project by becoming a member of my channel. If you are interested, go to the bottom of the video and click the blue button that says join to see the different types of sponsorships, where you can receive additional benefits with a small monthly contribution to the project. Well, with that, I say goodbye until the next video.